Welcome to the Wildly Free Podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Plord, business mentor, 3-times founder, and marketing nerd. On this podcast, you'll learn how to break free from the traditional job world and pave your own path so that you can go all in on life. Grab your favorite warm drink and pull up a chair as we talk all things marketing, growth, strategy, and the real and raw sides of entrepreneurship. Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I want to really kick you in the butt today. And I want to ask you, what would happen if you focused, completely focused, drop focus on every other little tiny thing that you put together for your business and solely focused on selling your offer, talking about your offer, getting people inside your programs for the remainder of 2024? What would happen? I'm just going to make sure that my sound is working, because the last time I did a live stream, the sound wasn't working. So I'm checking on my laptop here. Okay, we're good. Okay, so this came to me because this was my own personal journey. I've been thinking a lot lately about how let me backtrack. What would get me riled up? What would trigger me if in my own content, right? So I've been trying to figure out, like, what are some things that if I saw someone post this, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm getting called out, right? And I've been thinking about this a lot, and I was like, you know what? The number one thing that I needed to hear that I wasn't listening to back when things were not moving the way that I wanted to move in my business was, you actually have to sell your offer. Right? I've been looking at some of your Instagram stories and posts, and I see that you're showing up. You're putting in the work. You're taking action. You're investing in yourself. You're trying new things for your content. You're doing reels. You're doing the trending sounds. You're doing the hooks. You're trying to go viral. You're posting. You're showing up. You're maybe spending even hours on engagement and outreach trying to reach new people. You're trying new platforms. You're dipping your toes into TikTok, on Threads, on YouTube. Like, you're doing the things. You're putting in the work. But it's just scratching the surface. You're doing the bare minimum, and this is going to be hard for you to hear because you're like, well, what do you mean? I'm posting on 3 different platforms. I'm doing all these things. I'm getting really serious about my content. But here's the thing. You're not selling. You want the clients. You crave feeling overwhelmed. Like, tell me if this is something that you relate to, because I remember people being like, oh my God, I booked out my business. I can stop worrying about signing new clients. And I was like, whoa. Like, I don't know what my booked out status is. I don't think there is a limit. Like, I want to feel overwhelmed. Bring it on. You want to feel overwhelmed by the number of DMs you have. Like, you've heard people say, like, oh, like, I've got so many DMs to respond to. And you're like, yes, me. Give it to me. I want that. When people say, oh, my calendar is so full of client calls, ugh, you're like, hello, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Sign me up. I want to reach my limit. I want to see if there even is one. Meanwhile, though, you're sitting here, you're twiddling your thumbs, bored out of your mind because you've already posted on the 3 different platforms that you need to post on. You've batched your content for next week. You've sent out an email to your list, but there are no bites. And you're like, well, okay, I just need to keep doing this for 3 months. I just need to keep doing the same routine for X amount of time, and then I will see results. Then 3 months roll around, and you're like, I'm still here. And you might be thinking, like, well, maybe my content wasn't strong enough. Maybe I'm too late. The market's too crowded. Maybe the economy sucks and no one's buying right now. I'm going to tell you straight up, it's because you are not selling your offer. It's literally because you're not selling your offer. And when I say sell your offer, I don't mean post the 5 Instagram stories slides that you created on Canva a month ago for your offer and just repost that over and over and over again. I'm talking about really digging into your offer, stretching it out, telling a story about it, different stories in different ways to appease to different types of buyer personalities, and selling your offer multiple times a day. How many of you maybe sold your offer this morning and you're like, well, I've done that, check. Okay, well, what happens to your Instagram stories after someone watches it? They're gone. People are like eager to see what you're going to post next on your stories. They're like checking, but you just had the same stories that you posted this morning. You can sell multiple times a day. You can stretch out your sales process. When you start to talk about your offer everywhere, not just in a call to action at the end of your post, not just in like a tiny little blurb at the top of a reel, not just 5 slides on your Instagram stories every day. That's the same story, same 5 slides every single time. When you start talking about your offer everywhere and with the conviction of somebody who knows this program is going to change lives, then you'll see your enrollment increase. And I can tell right now, if you're not already doing this, it's because there's some kind of resistance. So I want to talk about that. There's some kind of resistance to you selling. And I want you to sit down and I want you to get really serious and ask yourself this question. Why? Why am I feeling this resistance? I would bet it has something to do with being afraid of failing. Being afraid people will see you fail. Like, okay, let's say you show up and you post and you do what I'm talking about, stretching out, telling stories, selling your offer every single day, selling your offer in different places and in different ways. And then, God forbid, you do this for 3 weeks and you still haven't signed a client. That would feel terrible. So you're like subconsciously not doing this because you're afraid of feeling that way. But by default, not doing it is creating the same feeling for you. Or perhaps you're afraid of people seeing you fail. So you're like, you're going to show up, you're going to give it your all, you're going to try different things, and oh my gosh, no one signed up for your offer, and now you just look like a fool because no one came into your program, and you were talking about like it was the best thing in the world, and no one's in it. Embarrassing, right? Being afraid of actually putting your all into something and it not working is like a huge resistance to get over. Because right now you've been putting in like 70%, right? Like you're posting content, you're showing up, you're doing the reels, you're doing the trending sounds, you're doing the educational content, you're doing the authority-based content, you're sharing your voice. You're creating offers, you're putting them out there, but you're giving it 70%. Because that feels safe. That feels safe to you. But what if we, for the rest of 2024, turned the dial up? What if we turn the dial up to 100 or 110? You're ready for more and you're bored right now. I was doing a cycling class the other day and I was struggling. And the way we do it is like we have a base of resistance from 6 to 10, 6 being like pretty easy. You can sprint at this speed. 10 being like you're trudging through mud, like you cannot move. It's the hardest of hards. And we were working at a 9 and I was like, this feels so heavy. I can't do this. This is awful. And of course the instructor is like, you've got this, like this is, imagine doing this and then going out and facing the things that you're doing in your real life. And it's so motivating. But I'm like, I just want this to be over. And then she says, let's turn it up to a 10. And she knows her audience too. She's like, is this actually a 10? She says this, is this actually a 10? Or are you saying it's a 10, but really it's like a 9.5? And I was like, okay, I'll turn it up the dial. And I'm standing up on my bike and I'm doing it. I'm like, oh, this feels so hard. And then she's like, okay, good job. Turn it back down to a 9. Went back to a 9. 9 started to feel easy. So right now you're at your 8, you're at your 9. You're posting content. 2 years ago, posting content every single day was so intimidating to you. Posting content every single day, multiple times a day, like forget about it. Having offers, multiple offers that like you are passionate about and you put work in, like that is new. Think about yourself 2 years ago. So you've been at this comfort zone and you're ready to take it up a notch. You're ready to turn the dial from an 8, from a 9 to a 10. Not a 9.5 to a 10. Maybe even a 10.5. Because, right, like we've discussed this, you're bored. You're like, okay, I've posted the content. I've done all the things. I've checked all the boxes off. Now what? And you're just looking for yourself, you're looking for things to fill your time. Like, to be honest with yourself, you were able to do everything that you needed to do in 2 hours, less than that. And you're like, okay, yeah, I have more time. I have more energy for this. And of course it's nice to go on adventures. Of course it's nice to spend time with your family, but like, sometimes you have time to get nitty gritty and hustle and do the work. So let's fill that time with something that's going to help you actually get results. So you've been putting in the action, and now it's time for that action to actually pay off. And it's okay if you're feeling resistance to selling. Like, it's okay if you get off this live stream and you're like, okay, Hannah said to do this, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, for some reason, my thumbs are just not doing it. If you get caught up with what to say, you're like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, go copy my stories. You can literally take it word for word, but like, obviously tailor it to your offers. And if you want more assistance with this, if you want to go in deeper into sales and you're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to master sales. I'm ready for the rest of 2024 to be my highest income yet. This is exactly what I'm teaching inside Sell with Story. This is a 2-week mini mind. It's not just a class. It's not a master class. We're going into this deep because storytelling has been repeatedly something that has helped me sign more clients with my content, with my Instagram stories, with my reels that I do, with my TikToks that I do. And selling to me used to be like, feeling like a used car salesman. I'm just posting like, you need to buy this. Here's the graphic, buy it. And now it feels like a two-way interaction because I am telling a story. I'm including my audience in that. I am telling their story. I'm showing them what's possible for them. And in the process, I'm hooking them in. I'm keeping their attention. I'm educating them on a topic that they need help with. And I'm positioning myself as the authority, all in one post, all in one story sequence. So it's a really cool sales technique that's going to really help you untie that tie that you have in your tongue. You know, it's like there's something blocking you from sales. Like, this is going to make sales flow so easily for you. You're going to be able to learn how to use story points. I literally have a vault of ideas in my Notion or my Google, my Notes app. Heck, even in my Telegram saved audio folder, I will just like voice note myself some ideas. And when it's time to post, when it's time to sell, I will literally go in and be like, okay, I'm going to talk about this story today. I break it down. I stretch it out. Super important. Stretch it out. And boom, it's done. I've talked about my story. And I do that multiple times a day across different platforms. And I'm really excited to share that with you all because it is not as hard as you think it is. Once you start putting in the reps, practicing sales, it'll get easier and easier. It'll flow and you will start seeing people, more people comment your trigger word, more people in your DMs asking for the link for your applications, more people commenting, saving. Like, I can't tell you the number of saves I get on my TikTok. I was just talking to my fiance, Richard, about this. I was saying, like, I'm not viral on TikTok by any means, but I've been on TikTok for 3 years now. And I've always had around 200 views, 10 to 20 likes on things, but usually 0 saves, 0 comments. And it's been something that's frustrating. And ever since I started using storytelling, my saves have been up so much, averaging like 10 saves per video, which is incredible. So if you want that, if you want more saves, you want more comments from people who are actually going to buy your offers, not just sugar daddies or scammers trying to scam you, but people who actually would be dream clients for you to work with, you need to get inside Sell with Story. Like I said, 2-week mini mind. We have 2 live calls. They're going to be on Monday the 14th, Monday the 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've gotten a few questions about when those calls are going to be, so there they are. And it's okay if you can't attend them live, right? I know you all have busy schedules. You've got client calls. You've got families. You have your own life that you have to worry about. So if you cannot be there live, they're going to be recorded and you'll have access to them for life. In between those calls, because it's 2 weeks, right? In between those calls, we're going to be dropping audio trainings for you to go deeper into the subject matter that we're teaching. The curriculum is focused on storytelling, sales, storytelling content, leadership, and really figuring out why you are the person for your audience to invest in. This part's really important, right? We talked about that resistance on today's call. We're going to dig into that. We're going to heal that. We're going to overcome that. As always, the first time I run a program, the price is decreased. It's almost like a beta round. I want to make sure the people inside it actually get results. They see progress, right? And I had amazing results from main character messaging, which is a very similar styled program. That was like part 1, where we talked about messaging and figuring out who your dream client is and the stories that they have, how to use their stories in content, how to read your audience from like the posts that you're doing so you can actually co-create with them. That's part 1. Part 2 is sell your story. It's okay if you haven't seen main character messaging yet. You can go get that as well. It's an on-demand course now. You can find that in the link in my bio. But this is going to really help you nail in the sales side of storytelling, the sales side of main character messaging, where we're taking the messaging of your dream clients, you're telling their stories, and you're getting them inside with sales. So you want to be in this energy. You want to be in the room with someone who will push you, who's not just going to tell you that you're doing everything right. They will actually give you feedback. I'm going to push you. I'm going to tell you to go deeper. I'm going to tell you to take this a little bit further, to get spicy, to trigger your audience a little bit, to make them move. So you're ready. You're ready for this. Send me a DM and I'll give you the link to join, and I cannot wait to see you inside.